Hello and welcome. So let's talk about Donald J. Trump, the master manipulator of media, or I will call it the master of media. Love him or hate him, like him or dislike him. He gets your attention, he makes you talk about him, he makes you debate about him, he makes you spend time about him. I'm talking about him, you are talking about him, we are talking about him, everyone is talking about him, the whole world is talking about him. People should understand that Trump has been playing with medias for about 3 decades. He's learning, crafting, polishing, practicing. He's doing all these things his whole life. Also, you have to remember that Trump is a billionaire businessman. He's a real estate billionaire businessman. First and foremost, the rest are just secondary. And in business, without honesty, you can't succeed. So people who thinks that he's a liar or he's just inconsistent, he's doing all this shit. People thinks that. But in business, if you just fool around, then nobody will trust you, and then your business is just gonna collapse. So people who says all those nonsense are just haters and losers, and they are just stupid. But the way he mastered the media is just incredible. Plus, Trump has been dealing with politicians since the beginning of his career. He talks about running for president for about 30 years, and he watched closely all the presidential elections, so it's not surprising that he is doing so well now. He's in showbiz also, like his TV show The Apprentice, where he learns how to act, how to face cameras, how to behave, how to raise the ratings and get more eyeballs to watch him or his TV show. Trump studied in military school, where you have to be very well disciplined. You have to learn to obey and you have to learn to listen. You have to learn to get things done. That's what all he learned in military school, plus the education, the knowledge as well. Trump had a big success, big failures back in 80s and 90s respectively. But the most important thing is how he comes back stronger, more disciplined, more experienced, more determined, more hungry. You know, people should just look at without clouding your brain, your head, your mind with all this hatred. If you look the other side, then there are so many positive sides of him as well. And lots of people question about Trump leadership. He's decisive, he's strong, he's straightforward, he's charismatic, very disciplined, very competent, very hardworking, and the ability to get things done. That's how his leadership is. I've never ever hear any of the ex-employees or ex-workers ever complain or talk bad things about Trump. Never heard about it. Despite all this criticism comes from the pundits and critics. And the most positive side of Trump is he's got one of the nicest family. All his children are well behaved, highly educated, well behaved. They don't do drugs. They don't go around drinking, getting drunk, and partying. They don't drive around the town in supercars, gold chain on your neck, or gold teeth in your mouth, despite billions of money in your father's account. Trump has lots of grandchildren too. He's got one of the most beautiful family compared to lots of these pundits and critics where the children are doing drugs and drinking and partying and all this kind of behavior. Despite with all these accomplishments and qualities, Trump has all these pundits, medias, critics, anchors, experts from Fox News, CNN, NBC, ABC, or CBS. They don't seem to understand, or they just seem to ignore the things, the positive side of him. They just discredit him totally. They spend more time on negative side of him, They lose sight of positives, in life, I think so. Even Hollywood actors, singers, comedians, talk show hosts, and almost everyone makes fun of him and his supporters, and all the name calling like, racist, bully, demagogue, clown, sexist, etc. Actually, they are the one, who's racist, who's bully, who's demagogue, and then sexist. They are the one, not the supporters of Trump and himself. That's a fact. These people are just, they can't do anything about it, so they just, start calling all sorts of names. Since the beginning of his campaign until now, all these medias, pundits, critics, experts, actors, singers, comedians call all sorts of names to Trump and his supporters. Billionaires, super PACs, lobbyists, donors, special interest people from US and abroad spend hundreds of millions of dollars against him. Business partners like Macy's, NASCAR, PGA, ESPN, Univision, NBC, etc. They dump him. They cut ties, ties from his business organization. Political establishment from both sides did all they could to discredit him, stop him. Everything is stacked up against him. Despite all this, he keeps winning, 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 and even become more stronger than ever before. It's just amazing. It's incredible. Trump is playing his own game. He says what he wanna say. He played medias, pundits, critics, experts, anchors, haters, losers like a baby. He's always 3 or 4 steps ahead of his opponents and critics. What's more impressive about Trump is how he turned his negatives into positives. Trump is surgically opening up all the dirty tricks, corruptions, manipulations in politics and expose it to the ordinary Americans to see how America is run. While Trump haters and losers are obsessed and dream of Trump becoming president, Trump's supporters are just celebrating or having the most fun they ever had in life. This is Trump's masterpiece of how to handle the bias, bad medias. You know, he rules the media. This is the art of clowns, as you say. He rules the media, whether you like it or not. He rules the media. Please subscribe and comments below. That's about it. And I'm just gonna leave you guys to discuss in the comment section. That's about it.